Well, it's certainly very, very easy, isn't it, to look at all we're blessed with here in the land of the free and the home of the brave and really take it all for granted. But I promise you this, my next guest does not take it all for granted. He's Rene Godefroy, grew up struggling in poverty on the same streets of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, that you've been seeing every day, all day long on the news, now littered with the debris of buildings and really the grim specter of death. Our Bridge of Hope team said when they were there living in the streets of Port-au-Prince just literally hours after that earthquake, that you absolutely could not take a step in any direction without running into death in the streets all around you. Well, today, Rene Godefroy is an accomplished author, a highly sought-after motivational speaker, helping Fortune 500 companies like AT&T, Coca-Cola, and Charles Schwab impact their bottom line with winning ideas. I want you to join me in welcoming Rene Godefroy back to Breakthrough. Great to have you, buddy.
Great, thank you, Pastor.
Of course, when this all happened, my thoughts immediately went to you. I want you to take just a moment, if you can, tell our viewers what it was like as a young boy. You were in Haiti till you were 21 years of age. Tell us what that was like.
Life was very difficult. I was in a city where, actually in Port-au-Prince, in a neighborhood where the neighborhood is completely leveled. I lived with my mother, my sister, my brother in a little dungeon. And now I look, by the grace of God, if I were there, my entire family would have been dead, because we live under this basement infested with rats and roaches. There were mornings that when the rats would actually nibble the bottom of my feet. I tell this story when I go to corporate America. And sometimes some Haitians would come to me and say, why are you saying such things? And they feel like I should not be telling it. But Pastor, I feel like it is my testimony.
Yes.
You know, we get a test so that we can get a testimony. I feel like, you know, it is how I bring hope to thousands out there.
Yes. Well, we live in a cursed planet, and certainly there are areas in our world where decisions that men make that even worse. And to cover it over, I think we've done that too long. I think to tell the truth and to say, look, this is what's going on, but you don't have to stay in that. But for many, and you know, we're doing everything we can to get as much aid in there as we can, as quickly as we can. But even before, I mean, your testimony is even before those devastating hurricanes hit, your family, and it wouldn't matter if it was in Haiti or Hong Kong or Honolulu or somewhere here in America, you were living in such poverty that rodents would actually nibble on your feet at night. But then you had a life-changing experience with an encounter, really it must have been a divine encounter. God had a plan for you with an American couple. Tell us about that.
You talk about the nest, in America, people are talking about the nest, the retirement nest, the financial nest. Now the nest is a mess. All right, and understand that this is God, a way of, you know, nudging you.
Sure.
Well, that's what happened to me when I was in Port-au-Prince, walking behind the American tourists in a place called Champ de Mars. You might see it on your television, and begging for a penny, whatever they could afford. One American couple gave me a dime, and they touched me so compassionately. As a result of that, a world of possibilities, we're talking about possibilities, opened up for me. And I said to myself, one day I want to go to America to eat lots of rice and chickens. But,
rice and chickens. But Rene, how old were you then?
I was 9 years old.
9 years old.
Then there was a guy by the name of Henry, Mrs. Andre's son, in the neighborhood, Monelio, where I lived. He came from America, and he told me about freedom in America and the possibilities in America. And I said, oh, Mama, so America became the promised land for me.
Many of our viewers right now have a promised land. It may not be to get from Haiti to America, but it certainly to get out of your struggle and over into the abundance of God, from just enough to getting over into more than enough. And Rene, I know you had family there. How did you make your way then? You've got this idea, possibility, and they gave you a dime. You've got somebody there in the neighborhood talking about the promised land of America, but still, how did you get from Haiti to America?
Well, how I got there is by the grace of God. He worked out miracles, and that's why I still believe there are going to be many miracles coming from Haiti after this earthquake right now. I was performing with a theater company in Port-au-Prince, and I went to Montreal, Canada, and it was there in Montreal I realized I was so close to this country I'm so grateful for, and so many take for granted.
Right.
When I came to this country, all I had 2 shirts, 1 pair of pants, and $5. And I didn't speak any English, I had to start from scratch.
What's that little blue suitcase?
Well, this is actually the little suitcase that I came to this country with, okay? This represents to me possibilities. Look at the financial crisis people are going to today. It doesn't mean we have to give up. It means maybe we have to find the little suitcase we started with.
There you go.
It means maybe we have to go back and eat some rice and chickens in the meantime while God is working the plan for us. But it's not a sign to give up. I think Christians tend to give up too quick. Don't give up.
And look at all they've got.
Yeah.
I promise you, the vast majority of folks watching Breakthrough today, Rene, have more than what would fit in that little suitcase, and they have more than $5. And so whatever they've got in their hand, like David with a slingshot, that's your possibility if you yield that thing to God.
Possibility. I talk in corporate America about change, and people talking about having to do more with less. Come on. Still, the less you have is more than enough.
That 75% of the world has no pillow, no bed to lie down in, no refrigerator with any food, and less than 1 pair of shoes. 75% of the world. You were in that situation.
Yeah, I stood in line, the food line, and as a kid to go get food, a long line, and sometimes I get to the end of the line and the food is gone. There's no more food. And I would just go to school, nothing to eat. And I looked at all the things I woke up this morning in the hotel, there's a spot on the towel, and I started thinking, wait a minute now, there's a spot on my white towel? I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute now, Rene, you came from sleeping on the floor with rats and roaches. You have nothing to complain here.
No.
It's just a matter of perspective.
Sure it is. We've got to be thankful. We've got to be thankful. God's really been speaking that to me, Rene. I remember I got a bicycle. My mom and dad, both of them worked 2 jobs my whole life, and I wanted a bicycle so badly, and I knew they couldn't afford it, and so they got me a bicycle from the dump. My dad had hauled a load to the dump, and he brought a bicycle back from the dump, and boy, I tried to act happy about it, but then Christmas morning they got me a new bicycle. There were 3 inches of snow and 2 inches of ice on the ground, and I grabbed that bicycle and I tried to ride it on the ice. And my point is this: I was so thankful. I was so happy. I want to be that thankful. I want to be just that happy every day, to look around me and say, look at the blessing of God in my life. Rene, a couple invested 10 cents. There are a lot of folks already saying to us here at Bridge of Hope, here at the Breakthrough Ministry, well, should we really send finances to invest in a situation like that? Boy, I'm glad somebody invested a dime in Rene Godefroy.
Yeah, and Pastor, I want to say thank you, because within hours after this, your trucks were already on the way to bring food and supplies to the people. I was shocked when I called Breakthrough, and they told me, the trucks are on the way.
That's right.
And I want to say thank you, but also to your partners. You never understand. It's like a ripple, the cycle, how far they will go. When you touch an individuals like that, you're making a difference. And the cameras will leave Haiti, but we're still going to need a lot of help for many years to come.
Yeah, it's not just, we can't just hit and leave. And we found that out in Sudan, where we've been for, nearly 2 decades. And folks say, how long will you stay there? Well, as long as there's slavery there, as long as there are suffering people, we have to be there. Now, I know you've got family, friends in Haiti. Tell me what reports you're getting that we might not be seeing seeing on the evening news?
My family is okay. I lost about 3 friends in Port-au-Prince, and but a lot of families are not okay. I remember I was talking to my sister. There's this young lady in New York, and her sister in Haiti. When it happened, a house totally crumbled, and she was there. She barely had a chance to make one phone call. She called the sister. She said, "Sis, this is the last time you'll ever hear from me. I don't think I'll make it, but I want you to know you need to serve the Lord because I will see you in heaven."
You know, our team, Rene, said that the most amazing thing was the people that they encountered there in the streets of Port-au-Prince, they weren't asking for food, they weren't asking for shelter. They were literally taking our team's hands and putting them there on their bodies and say, "Just pray for us." And I hope you're praying, partners. I hope you're praying. Rene, you got to give me just one little bit of what you've been teaching corporate America, and that is, if they learn to change their questions, they can change their solutions.
Absolutely. Your questions determine the directions your body is moving in. And if you ask yourself powerless question, you will feel powerless. When I was in Miami, 21, walking in the parking lot, trying to beg people to wash their cars on the street, I had a different set of questions than most people. First question for me, how can I live the American dream? What kind of books do I need to read? Who do I need to mentor me? And because I asked God the right questions, He gave me the right answers. He landed me at an opportunity that didn't look good. Remember, I said change is a gift, but that gift is not wrapped up in a pretty package. I became a doorman at a hotel. That was the opportunity for me. And it was there that I discovered which books to read. When I was parking the cars, I'd see the books, I'd begin to buy them. I don't read book, I study books. So your questions determine your answers and your solution. Right now, anybody watching us, Pastor, if they change their questions, they change the directions of their life automatically.
You know what I'm thrilled about, Rene? I'm thrilled as I'm sitting here talking to you to know that there are wonderful, wonderful people right now in Haiti suffering so terribly. But there's a core in them, a core like Rene, that says, just give me a chance. Give me a possibility. Give me a little blue suitcase and a pair of pants and 2 shirts and $5 in my pocket, and I'll work. I'll make what I can of my life, and I'll be a contributor.
Give me freedom. Freedom.
What a testimony.
Freedom is so precious, Pastor. We are living in the country of plenty. There is so many opportunities and possibilities in this country. I talked to some of the folks in villages and cities. Now, they are cut off from the, Port-au-Prince was the supply, the line. Now, food, and they have an exodus of people from Port-au-Prince going to cities and villages. Food prices are 300, 400%. We are talking about people who could not eat beforehand.
80% of them living on $1 a day before that.
That's right. And we are in America today. And we are so blessed beyond measure.
Rene, thank you. Thank you for your life. Thank you for your testimony. Thank you for encouraging our partners today that their support of the precious Haitian people are going to yield results.
Thank you, Pastor.